Today on Judge Porter.
We have case number 9105, Evelyn Pace versus Timothy Grant. Can you please come to the podium?
Your Honor, we're talking about neon colored chalk, and I'm looking at things like rainbows and unicorns and hopscotch, for goodness. I mean, if this were all on the side of a building, right, it would be graffiti.
I've never heard this in my life. No one has ever complained.
All rise. The Honorable Judge Porter is presiding. Court is now in session.
Everyone, please be seated. Thank you so much. Okay, I see here, we have case number 9105, Evelyn Pace versus Timothy Grant. Can you please come to the podium? Ms. Pace, it's nice to see you again.
Hello, Your Honor.
How are you doing today?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
right.
I'm trying to maintain.
It's a good plan.
Mr. Grant, how are you doing today, sir?
Good morning, sir. I'm fine, thank you.
Miss Pace, it shows here that you're suing Mr. Grant for the amount of $10,000. What's
Yes.
going on here?
Well, I took your advice. I did talk quite a bit to my HOA.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
But this particular case is again because I'm trying to maintain the high standards of my community. And I think there are rules in the HOA, the bylaws that are not being followed.
Are you filing another suit in relation to the homeowners association at the complex where you reside?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Just so I can give you some backstory. She has been here before.
I'm not surprised.
She has filed a lawsuit with against the homeowners association where she resides. So I don't want you to think that we're taking favor with her because she's been here before. Okay.
Understood.
Please continue, ma'am.
Well, the issue this time is that there are some many children, who are doing the sidewalk chalk art in the common areas.
I'm sorry. You said that there are children.
Sidewalk chalk art
And
everywhere on the common areas.
Okay. And
All
then
right.
the sidewalk is at the front of the building, I'm assuming?
No, it's within. We have grounds within the building where there are common areas and there are sidewalks there.
So
where I walk my
the
dog, where
walkways
people
that lead to the
stroll.
building?
Yes,
stuff
where
like that?
everybody has to walk. Yes, sir.
Okay. And you're suing Mr. Grant for $10,000?
Yes. Well, he's,
Okay, what does Mr. Grant have to do with the children? I don't understand.
Well, again, I'm trying to maintain a high community standard. I mean, Your Honor, we're talking about neon colored chalk, and I'm looking at things like rainbows and unicorns and hopscotch, for goodness. I mean, if this were all on the side of a building, right, it would be graffiti.
Graffiti,
Graffiti, and
vandalism.
that's
Yeah,
not allowed.
I understand
That's
that.
vandalism.
But here's where I'm lost at. Who is Mr. Grant to these children that you're talking about?
Well, he's in charge of the HOA. So he should be aware of the rules, and I've taken it up to the HOA now to say, I want accountability for the high standards that our community should provide to its residents.
So you're suing the head of the homeowners association
Yes. Well,
for
he should
the
know
children
the rules.
marking on the walkways to...
I believe the bylaws and the rules of our HOA, which are not being enforced, maintain a clean, neat, and orderly environment. Again, my HOA fees are substantial.
Okay.
And I would like the rules of the HOA to be followed. I think they are not being followed here.
Mr. Grant, what is your position at this complex, sir?
I'm the president of the
You're the
HOA.
president of the homeowners
11
association.
years. 11 years.
Okay, let me ask this question. Who determines what's in the bylaws of that specific homeowners association?
Well, it's standard. Every owner gets the same list of bylaws.
No, what I'm asking is who creates the bylaws?
Oh, we have a board.
You have a board?
And the board creates the bylaws, the rules of the community.
Ma'am, are you on this board?
No.
Okay.
No, sir.
But you're the president
Yeah,
over the
I
board.
guess I'm here representing the HOA.
Okay, now she's mentioned something to the effect of children
Yes.
using chalk to mark on the
Correct.
walkways that lead to the building. Are you familiar with what she's talking about?
Everything lands on my desk, as you can imagine. And we deal with the complaints that we get. A palm frond that's fallen and is in a walkway. We get these horrible storms here. Sometimes the drainage is a little, somebody has a party that goes on too long, too loud, too late. We send them a reminder, remind them of the rules. We don't usually have the problem again. Heaven forbid one of the monitors goes out in the gym, or we got to take a treadmill offline to maintain it. I get 50 emails, 50, and the owner versus owner stuff. Sometimes you must feel the same way. Sometimes can't these two people just go get a beer and settle their own stuff?
Owner versus owner.
Oh.
I'm familiar with that scenario.
I bet you
Aren't we,
are.
Mrs. Pace?
I bet you are. But I got to tell you, Your Honor, what are we going to do about this terrible scourge of children playing outside? That's a new one to me. I've heard everything. I never heard that one before.
I guess we're here to find out, because my question to you, sir, is what do the bylaws say in reference to children marking on the walkway?
I'll give her this. She's right. We do want to maintain an orderly, peaceful, neat community.
Yes, sir.
What we mean by that is things like don't leave your burnt out car that won't even move in the driveway. Don't put the trash on the outside of the bin, put it in the bin. It's those kinds of things.
But what about the markings of the chalk markings on the walkway?
It's not prohibited. I have the bylaws here.
Jeff, can you grab that document for me?
Yeah,
Let me read that.
it's a lot, but we don't cover that. That's perfectly fine with us.
All right.
And I'd like to tell you something else, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
We survey the owners. We survey them when they first come in. We survey them periodically. We want to know, what are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? What can we improve? How do we make people's lives better? I got to tell you that the number 2 or 3 reason why people come to this community, invariably, number 2 or 3 is always because it's safe. Because it's safe. The children feel safe playing outside. The parents feel safe letting their children play outside. In fact, I've had people who are looking to buy in, who come to look at properties in the neighborhood, and they look at these chalk drawings, and they say, "Oh, great, my kids can play here."
Okay.
It makes them happy to see that.
Let me ask this question: these markings that the children leave on the walkway.
It's visual pollution.
Visual pollution.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I would dare to say noise pollution as well, because of course the children are hopping about all on the hopscotch, screaming and
Okay.
yelling. There's got to be some
Horrible
kind of
thing.
bylaw
Children
by
playing
that.
Okay.
outside.
Now
Well-
I do see you brought up noise. There is something in here about noise, unreasonable noise, but that's within a certain time parameter, and I'm assuming
after a certain hour.
And I'm
When
assuming that the
children
children are not out during that
Of
time
course
period.
not. Of course
Here's
not.
my question: these chalk markings, are they permanent?
It's chalk. It washes away. We go out and wash them away. The children come out, they do them
Do
again.
you?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, that's the point. They may be temporary, but they are unendingly repetitive. They are always there. People are walking on them. When I take my dog for a walk, he's got that chalk on his feet. I've got to wash my pup's feet before I bring him back in the house. I don't want that chalk in my house.
Let me ask you this question, ma'am. You walk your dog
In the common areas,
in
yes,
the common
sir.
area. Do you walk your dog along the grass so the dog can relieve
Well,
itself?
of course, but there's walkways. You walk on the walkways and they go
I
on
got
the
that,
grass.
but when the dog has to relieve itself, the dog has to
Yes.
go into the grass,
Yes.
relieve itself.
Yes,
So is
and
it
I
safe?
pick up after myself if that's
And
where you're going.
no, I'm not going with that. But what I'm saying is, if the dog is walking in the grass, that means that the dog is probably walking on some dirt or something like that. You have to clean the dog's paws before going into your residence. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes, I clean my dog paws before he goes
So
to the
what's the
residence.
difference between the dirt from the ground versus the chalk from the sidewalk?
Well,
You
I mean,
still have to
grass and dirt you would expect to be there. graffiti used as daycare, you would not. Your
Okay. Do you consider it graffiti?
Of course not.
Does anyone else at the Homeowners Association board consider it graffiti?
Like I said, a treadmill goes down, I get 50 emails. I've never heard this in my life. No one has ever
So
complained.
what you're saying is that Ms. Pace is the only one complaining about
know,
the
I
graffiti?
think other people are thinking it.
You
I
know-
think I'm the only one with the guts to say it.
Okay.
Your Honor, if I get a lot of complaints about something, I deal with it. I have to. It's my job. Right?
But here's the thing. I'm reading in the bylaws and I'm confused. Maybe my reading skills aren't that great, but I don't see where there's a violation of the bylaws of the Homeowners Association for children to play at along the sidewalk and mark. I don't see that here.
Well, I have no problem with children playing with chalk, but why can't they do it on a chalkboard in their own homes? Why does it have to be displayed for the whole community to participate in?
So you have a problem with these children leaving the
Yes.
okay,
Yes,
but
it's
the
out and
Homeowners
about.
Association doesn't.
This is a luxury choice.
But
that
ma'am,
we've
the
made.
Homeowners Association, they don't have the problem with it. And they wrote the rules. Here's my suggestion. If you don't like it, maybe you should move to a different location.
Well, if she does move to a different location, she's going to miss out on something that our community provides.
But
we
she'll-
all watch out for these kids.
But
And by the
she-
way, we all watch out
But
for each
sir,
other.
she'll be happy though if she goes to another
We'll see.
location. Okay, Jeff, can you return this document back to him, sir?
Thank you,
Ms.
sir.
Pace, unfortunately, I am not going to rule in your favor.
Again,
Okay. I'm sorry, what's that, ma'am?
I said again. Okay. Yes, Your Honor.
So, and as the last time that you were in my courtroom, I advised you against making a frivolous lawsuit. Do you recall that?
I do not consider this frivolous.
I do. I do, very much so.
Well, then we will agree to disagree, Your Honor.
Okay, we can agree to disagree, but this is my courtroom. So what I say goes. So what we're going to do to remind you is I'm going to fine you $250. And if you come back again with a frivolous lawsuit, that number may increase. Am I making myself clear, ma'am?
You are exceedingly clear as you were before, Your Honor. Yes, I'm
That's
a
what
rule
I thought.
follower, as you know.
This case is dismissed.
Well, I'm grateful to Judge Porter for his ruling today. I think it was the right ruling. I've been doing this job a long time. We always have one or two in the community who have something to squabble about. It doesn't usually reach this level. Unfortunately, it had to this time. We were being threatened with all sorts of things, terrible notes being left by the woman who brought me here today. Again, I'm grateful. I'm happy to do my job and to support my community and represent them. And I'm glad we didn't have to pay $10,000. $10,000 buys a lot of chalk, if you know what I mean.
Well, I'm a lady, but I'm very pissed off. You know, I'm trying in my community to maintain a very high standard of luxury and order and peace. And these children bouncing around, it's just not right. But I've taken it up as far as I can with my HOA. I will abide by Judge Porter's order for me to not bring frivolous suits to this court. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do about all this, but I certainly am not going to change my approach in my community. I will continue to monitor, to manage, and to report things as I deem them necessary. And I hope not to be in this courtroom again. I was not treated very nicely today. I don't appreciate that.